It's the Smite Pro League powered by Curse Voice Gandhi, joined by Mr. Dot. How was your run over here?
Run was pretty good. Got the wind through my hair, so really enjoyed it. Doing well.
Majestic.
Yeah, looking cute, feeling cute.
Yeah, well, guys, this is going to be week 3 here, Thursday night Smite action. Make sure you're tweeting it out, telling all your friends and family. But it is all about Fnatic versus upcoming stars in this game 1.
Yeah, it's Fnatic versus upcoming stars is going to be our first European match, and it's really Fnatic's game to win.
For sure.
The average game length is 29 minutes, and Fnatic has won their last 2 games in 19. So super, super strong coming out of the gates. 19
minutes is lightning fast, and we're going to hop right into the picks and bans to get this thing underway. It's really a tale of upcoming stars. You know, they got their first taste of victory.
Oh, yeah.
Can they bring it here to go up against this Fnatic roster, who is widely accepted now as the #1 team in Europe?
Upcoming stars are definitely on an uphill battle against Fnatic, to say the absolute very least, Scott. Right now, they're looking to sort of show what they can. I am personally looking at hi-rez. He did very well against the hard hunter lane of Trig. Went 12-4-12, as Kevin mentioned in the pregame show. So, can he do it against Reels? How well can he do against Reels? I think the barometer for me personally is not will they win, but how do they do, poor or well?
Yep, Giannis gets taken out here, taking away the mobility coming out of Zeros here. Sylvanas gone, very target ban, and now Neith as well, who, it's so crazy to me how strong Neith has become because of, well, she can go anywhere.
Exactly, it's the ambiguity. You hit the nail on the head. It's not about how strong Neith is, it's not about her scaling, although those certainly come into play. It's about the fact that when you pick Neith, your opponent doesn't know if she's going in the mid, solo, or hunter role, and all 3 of those she's potent in. She's not really giving up anything by switching to a different role.
Well, Fnatic has their pick here. They can either grab Athena or Serqet. Serqet has been lethal on Captain Twig, but I'm sure Badger would love the guaranteed rotations coming out of the Athena. And plus, when you pick up an Athena, well, you have guaranteed tempo control the entire game.
And see, that's awesome for Fnatic right there, because they force out the Giannis ban on side of upcoming stars. You take a look at the Sylvanas, the Neith, and the Thor ban. Those are just meta bans. They're powerful characters. Giannis, that's what Zeros likes to play almost every single game. If you let him play it, he will, and he'll do well. So by forcing that target ban out, upcoming stars, they leave Athena open, and Fnatic gets the first pick it.
Yeah, upcoming star is going to go ahead and lock in Ra, most likely going to Frosty, who saw success with this god last week.
Very true.
In their win, so not a real shocker here, but this is also going to give Fnatic now Serqet as well. So Captain Twig, if Fnatic chooses to pick up Serqet, they're in a very, very good spot with the Athena mixed in, and then you could even grab Poseidon in the mid lane, and then you have complete control.
Very, very true. That makes the mid camps very, very hard to deal with.
Very difficult.
The Athena taunt into the Kraken is one of the scariest mid camps to deal with. That said, Serqet does get picked up. That's going to go in the jungle, and the Ymir on the side of upcoming stars, I'd bet a lot of money that that's going to be in the jungle as well.
Man, my man Reels has been playing the hell out of Anhur. He's played so... It is the skin, right? It is the Fnatic skin. Yep. But, you know, he just loves this guy. He loves being able to outplay his opponent, and we see it every single week so far, ever since the spring finals. I mean, we've really seen just how good Reels has become as a player.
It's very interesting because Reels has always played this Anhur, and Reels is a character that does very well in team fights, and Anhur's not traditionally thought of as a team fight hunter. The Pillar does amazing things, but you generally think to Roms when you want that style. So we're going to see the Anhur picked up. This, to me, tells me that Reels is going to look to dominate this lane.
Well, one way to shut down a Serqet is to throw some chains on her, crippling out the mobility of Serqet here, which would be the Ares. But the Ymir in the jungle, he does have good control in the early game, but it's really, if he gets behind, it's curtains for Ymir.
Yeah, Ymir, as you said, he's got good control, but more importantly in the early game, he's got the damage. That damage is what's going to disappear as the game goes deeper, but the control won't. You're still going to have those freezes, you're still going to have those walls and those stuns, so Ymir definitely wants to stay ahead or even to stay relevant, but even if he does fall behind, the jungler Cherio, who is an ex-support player, can still play setup man for the team.
That's really going to be the key here for upcoming stars. They have an Ares as well, who, if Ares gets ahead, amazing. Insane how crazy good he becomes. But if he gets behind, you just burst him down. And with the Hercules ban taken out here, that's a shot directly at Maniac. All we've seen really out of Fnatic so far is that Maniac loves running warriors. Wouldn't shock me if we see a tier here.
Yeah, Maniac has played the Hercules and the tier very, very well. They're thick, tanky characters that also bring a lot of displacement to the party.
Yep.
You're at point A, and he wants you to be at point B. He's going to put you there. And instead, we're actually going to see a Vamana, just a straight hyper carry in the solo lane.
Late game hyper carry Vamana. The crazy thing about this god is that when you're going, if Upcoming Stars does run a double hunter, which Apollo normally kind of tells us that they might be running a double hunter.
Sure.
Just because, he has such good mobility in the solo lane. He can rotate all these fights. But Vamana, at some point, you just end up getting Shield of the Underworld, and then you go, bye-bye. Everyone's dead. I pop Sprint 3 as well.
Yeah. Interesting pickup on the side of Fnatic. We're going to see an Isis choice. Usually out of Zeros, we see the Giannis and the Vulcan almost exclusively. Isis is a very interesting choice because right here, you take a look at the Fnatic comp in general. Vamana's going to excel in the very late game. Serqet will excel in the mid to late game. Anhur sort of hits his peak in the mid. He's a hunter, but he's earlier hunter than some of the latter ones. And Isis obviously has super clear, so she's going to be very strong in the early game. So what I see for Fnatic's team comp right here is a lot of just handoff. Yep. It's my game right now, then I'll hand it off to Serqet, then we'll hand it off to Vamana.
And that's going to go ahead and be Fenrir here. So this is going to be a Fenrir going into the solo lane.
Oh, yeah.
He will be going up against the Vamana.
This is it's a rough matchup for Fenrir specifically because Vamana can clear the wave so quickly. Fenrir has to work a little bit more for it. Fenrir is not going to kill Vamana unless he does so early, but Sausage, very, very strong Fenrir player. So he's going to have to watch. So his opponent, Maniac, will have to watch out just for the raw talent of Sausage on the dog.
Well, taking a look at the starting items here, Maniac, no shocker. He's got one build that he runs every single week, and it's a rush of Mystical Mail. Yeah. No questions asked. He does it, and he always excels at it. Maniac, probably the most improved player from Season 1 going into Season 2, and now he's pretty much the premier solo laner in Europe.
Yeah, this Mystical Mail Rush does so much. What it does is not only does it help clear the wave a little bit without using your abilities, because you'll just have that pulsing 40 damage, but Scott, it's 40 magical damage.
Yep.
And your opponent, Fenrir, might be a little bit different, but you usually see these Runeforged hammers. You're going to see physical protection being built, especially the jungle is also physical. So you're not going to have a lot of magical protection beyond your base stats. So that Mystical Mail winds up hurting a decent amount as you just sit in the wave and clear it, especially as a Fenrir who has to work to clear the wave.
And on top of that, Fenrir is known for excelling early game and then a little bit of the early to mid game, and then he starts to kind of plateau, which is exactly where Maniac's going to come off with. So the question here is, can Fenrir see success versus Maniac early on?
That is going to be the question if Fenrir can see success, but right now I can tell you Fnatic can see a lot. They have placed 4 wards. The solo laner has placed 2 wards himself, and on the other side, Badja has placed 2 wards as well. This is going to block out, if you take a look at where those wards are placed, it creates a semicircle in their jungle. No one is invading without us knowing. They're not getting our back harpies, otherwise we're going to collapse.
Oof. Captain Twig losing about half of his health here as the freeze from Ymir is just so very strong as the wave will be shoved up here. Maniac will get stunned up and eat a little bit more damage, and you can see the brutal eyes coming out of Fenrir is just very, very good at chunking people down. And Maniac, he starts off a little bit lower, but he's not too worried about it.
Ymir's caught out on the wards because of those early wards coming out from Fnatic, and because of that, Zeros will be able to land the 1-2-3 combo of basic attacks from Isis as well as the stun. So Jungler Cherio, even with the heal from Frosty, still sitting at about 60% HP.
Swinging into the duo lane will be Reels and Badja taking on Qin and hi-rez. Soldier of Fortune Ares looking to aggress as early as possible, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult when you have the taunt as well as the pillar stun coming out of Anhur.
Apollo in this long lane should be an interesting matchup for Reels. Apollo is known as we said before, he is the escape artist of Smite. He can get out of almost anywhere. So it's up to Apollo to really stay safe because Reels just has the burst to knock him out as the Anhur.
Yeah. It's going to be very tough, and Maniac very, very low here. Sausage doing a great job at controlling this lane. He's got the level advantage as well, and although Maniac will hit 4 right now, he just needed 1 creep. It's looking very good for Sausage, and coming into this one, and we did our caster prep, and it was kind of, who's going to be the star for upcoming stars? Right. No pun intended at all. And we were all kind of like, well, Sausage did really well, but then, he didn't really do well in their win.
it's generally Sausage that you look to, but right now, Badger getting aggressed on. A lot of damage, and Qin, the support, will take the first kill. That's an Ares first blood.
It's huge.
Going the way of Upcoming Stars.
Really, really important that you get the first blood here, especially for Upcoming Stars. Not only for the morale and the extra gold, but also you get it on the Ares, who now he's going to do so much more in this lane.
Right, you alluded to it before by just saying that Ares, when behind, just doesn't do much. Ares is a Guardian that his peel comes from how scary he is because of the damage output. If you don't get enough items on him, he just doesn't have that damage output. So you got to get Ares ahead, items and levels. That first blood is only going to help, and you're just going to see a lot of damage come out from this Guardian.
15 seconds here until the first set of mid-Harpies coming up. Badge is going to be here for the rotation as well. Cheerio all by himself, and I don't think Fnatic's going to fight this, as Sausage actually hitting the rotation as well. Zeros is going to linger around to see if he can hit a Spirit Ball and steal it, but they're going to be late to the party, and they're going to lose both sets of Harpies, a 5-man grouping coming out of Upcoming Stars. They get the first blood, and then they just hit a perfect rotation and go, if you want to fight us, Fnatic, you can. We have a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, I mean, they brought the numbers, and Maniac, he looked like he wanted to come. Maniac came over to about the Fire Giant and then went back to lane, and now he's forcibly being stuck in a lane. The ultimate out from the dog is going to stick him in Cherio's ultimate. One more hit from Maniac, and it should be good. Cherio takes the kill. That's one for the jungler.
Wow, that wall was beautiful. That's how you shut down a big baby. Just throw a wall in his way. Captain Twig jumps in looking for the kill. He gets the last breath here onto the Ymir. He was looking for the Fenrir. Zigzag will hit as well, has to hand to the gods in the back just to stop taking the damage, and he blows the ultimates, and he stopped him from pushing the tower, but he didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was just as you said, that was just a mechanical misplay. He clearly wanted to go for Fenrir. The dog very, very low. If he got hit with that ultimate and a basic or two, Scott, it was curtains. He was dead, but misses it, grabs the Ice Giant, and not able to kill him.
Frost Giant, bro, okay?
Excuse me.
Thank you very much. Anhur now, aka Reels, will head into the lane here. He's a little bit behind, but the question here for Reels is, how good is he going to be with this Athena, who's a little bit behind? But it shouldn't be too hard. Although Ares is going to be extremely difficult to deal with now going into this next set of Harpies. Badger has hit the rotation. He's got the taunt, looking for it just off the mark there with the impale into the wall. As Maniac, well, he's going to get brutalized on here, and you can just see the damage. The follow-up's good again, and Maniac might fall one more time, and Cheerio. Well, we said Ymir, he's strong early, as long as he gets ahead, and they're doing just that. Now Reels is turned on the pressure, and he's able to secure the kill on hi-rez in the duo lane.
That's going to be the first kill for Fnatic, and it's very interesting the way these stats are going. It's really betraying the traditional stats. So after 4 games of the summer split, Upcoming Stars has 101 deaths, whereas Fnatic only has 14. Make that 17 with this game because they already have suffered 3. So Upcoming Stars really trying to turn things around for their season. Not looking too hot, but this game, it's a different story.
Cheerio was able to go into Shoes of Magi as well. Normally we see Ymir's just because they don't get the kills early on. Just go into CDR boots, get more freezes out, try to get the walls out there and turn the tides of a fight. But no escape's going to come out. Athena's forced to use her ultimate defensively onto Reels here, and now she's going to try to peel. Qin's got one chain. They don't have the kill, but they force Reels out again.
You know, that ultimate coming out from Badger is, you have to do it because you don't want to get pulled as the Athena, but it also saved Reel's life. Don't forget, Defender of Olympus provides protections and damage reduction, so Reel's actually got hit for less than he would have, and looking at how low he is, Scott, he might have suffered a death.
He might have died, yeah. I'm not sure how many chains were on him in hindsight, but regardless, Twig comes over there securing the purple buff there, as the red buff is still there. Isis forced all the way to back, and Upcoming Stars is really starting to force this issue here, as this is going to be another set of Harpies that is going to go cleanly to them. Right side is still up. They don't have to worry about anything. They have vision control. This Sentry coming out of Cheerio is really become the standard right by the mid Harpies, because every mid laner has to ward that.
Right.
Or you just get invaded.
Sausage going to make the solo rotation out of the solo lane, and he's going to claim the Harpies for himself. Interesting, he waited for the jungle just off screen. We couldn't see him, but Cheerio is close enough to get the experience for that as well. So Bumba's Mask still doing what it's supposed to do and sharing the wealth from those camps. Very, very cool stuff seeing out of Upcoming Stars. And as we take a look back in the solo lane, Maniac gets stunned. You know, we mentioned early, Fenrir is not going to be able to kill Vamana unless it happens early, and we sort of left that as a footnote.
Yeah.
Well, Fenrir, Cheerio has gotten the credit for it, but Fenrir has killed Vamana in essence twice so far.
It's just good to delay this mystical mail rush as well. Anything that can help with that. And he's got a 2-level advantage. Qin comes in with the blink, and there comes the pull. Defender of Olympus isn't only going to mitigate so much here, and they're going to chase him down. The taunt was beautiful, though. That's the great peel. Cheerio doesn't have the follow-up damage here, as they're going to look for it, as Captain Twig's going to move into the jungle, and he will wisely recall here. This is getting scary for Fnatic.
Unfortunately for upcoming stars, Cheerio was not on the same page, looked at a different target. Had he looked at the Isis that the Ares landed the pull on, I think that would have been another kill. But here's Sausage getting aggressive in the middle lane this time around. Gold Fury
gets all a distraction.
Dropped, and that's all he was trying to do.
Yeah, it was just a distraction to make sure that no one came and checked on the Gold Fury. Freeze comes out on Maniac. Here comes the follow-up wall, and they get the ultimate. Oh, no, it didn't go on cooldown. The animation started, didn't finish, but
I heard it.
I mean, Maniac, he's down 0-3 at 8 minutes, dude. We've never seen him play from behind.
Sausage has just been making these rotations actually count. These early solo rotations are tough. Woo! Freeze comes out from Cheerio.
You can just see the damage output that Ymir can really throw down there. And speaking of damage output, that's 3 chains. Searing Flesh getting ready to come off the respawn as well. And Reels is going to slither out of there with 135 health.
Very low.
They're going to have to really make sure that they just can't fight.
I think the term is snowball.
They can't. Yeah, but Fnatic can't fight right now.
Fnatic is in a very tough spot. They're only down 3,000 gold, but it is 8.5 minutes in. This game has just barely begun. So upcoming stars significantly in the driver's seat, and Fnatic has to stop all the bleeding right now. As you said, they don't really want to look for fights. They just want to sit in lane.
Yep. If Fnatic could get a pick, that'll just help them out a little bit, right? Obviously, it's good for the morale, but you can just see they're camping this solo lane, and they're going to just go right for the buff invades here. They're going to clear this out, and they might even be able to pick Maniac. You can see him rotate over for it. He doesn't have the vision, and just like this, No Escape comes out as well. He doesn't have... Oh, he does have Colossal Fury. That's right. It didn't go on cooldown, and Defender of the Olympus forced out again. So the gank was still successful in the fact that they forced out 2 ultimates.
Just going to play it safe. They're even going to go around the long way around the tower just to be extra safe. You know, ultimate blown. Athena's still here, but still, it's 2v3. Did not want to take that any further. I think the player that Fnatic wants to look at really is Sausage. Fenrir after the jump can be relatively easy to catch. Brutalize is not that long of an escape, so as long as you bait out the jump or make him use it offensively as he has for the stun, then you can look for really controlling him and finding that pick, because he's been making so many rotations. Find him on the way to a fight he's trying to impact and shut him down.
Do you find it interesting that Fnatic has drafted this Isis, which gives them a little bit of early game pressure, and they haven't seen a single mid Harpy?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to mid Harpy presence, Circle of Protection can be very big, and not as big as a Kraken, but definitely very scary. But upcoming stars has just had the timing on lock. Whether they were doing distraction plays like they did for that Gold Fury, or just showing up first like they did for the first set of Harpies, upcoming stars has been more on top of this than Fnatic, and because of that, 3, 6, and 9-minute Harpies have gone the way of the red team.
So some of you guys might be asking yourselves why we give Reels all this credit and why we think he's the best hunter. His lane has given up a couple kills here, and he's a level over the Apollo, and he's only 100 gold behind, and that's with a Gold Fury on hi-rez.
Pull, middle lane, Qin, not going to get it. We'll get, I believe, beads out of the Isis, if I'm not mistaken.
Had to have been the beads. She still has her ultimate.
There it is. Yeah, yes, it is. Beads 2 on cooldown, so that's going to be just about 2 minutes before teams can really come back and fight that.
Well, Sausage is here as well. And what looked like a lot of early aggressive wards, or defensive wards coming out of Fnatic, they seem to have let go of that and switched on to just, okay, whatever. Freeze comes out as well. Now here comes Athena. She's in the middle of it. Last breath onto Cheerio. Reels gets 1. He's all in the action here. Zeros gets another one. That is Ragnarok. Big woof. Will he be able to get the kill, though? He's not able to. He gets some damage down, which will prevent them from pushing. And now they're going to continue to try to siege this tower. Zeros will avoid the Celestial Beam.
That's a huge win for Fnatic. They trade 1 for 2 under the mid tower when Upcoming Stars had 4. Upcoming Stars realizes, and I respect this play a lot, they realize, they're like, look, we have the lead right now, we're doing everything right.
For sure.
But it's still Fnatic. So let's force down this mid tower. Let's use the lead while we have it. Unfortunately, Fnatic a little bit too secure there. hi-rez made the rotation out of the long lane, which I don't think the Stars were expecting, and because of that, that tilted the fight in their favor.
It's also a little bit scary to dive an Athena. The taunt alone is just so hard to deal with.
Ymir's also tanky. He has that Breastplate of Valor second item, and as he gains a ton of health per level.
Yeah, he gets 104 health per level. It's a lot of health, but he is the Frost Giant, right? Like, he's got to get that. Now, Vamana here, he's got the Mystical Mail, and really, he's going into this Magi's next because, well, he didn't get online early on. So sometimes, we see the Executioner or whatever every Vamana goes. There's so many different builds, but he's forced into this utility, which means the power is going to have to get picked up somewhere else on his team.
Well, the Magi is really important because Vamana doesn't want to buy beads, whether it's a sprint or a blink or not a blink, but traditionally you see like a weakening curse or something come out of the Vamana. You don't want to buy those beads. And how has he died a lot? From the stuns from Sausage, who's in a little bit of trouble.
Last breath on to Fenrir here. Sausage now, he's going to be one auto attack away here, and Captain Twig unable to get it, as the heal from Ra will save him on the tail end as hi-rez comes to join the party here, trying to throw down some autos, and then he goes, well, my lane's halfway. I'm probably going to go soak up that experience.
Yeah, hi-rez will head back to his lane. 4 members deep is Upcoming Stars right here in the middle lane as we approach the 14th minute, 13 and a half here. 5 kills to 3. Upcoming Stars in the lead in all categories. Experience 3,200 as well as gold 3,000. Not what many fans expected coming into this one.
No, not at all. I think we were all talking like, well, if Upcoming Stars just looks okay, then they're going to be fine. Their season's fine. But now it's okay. Upcoming Stars, you got the lead. Let's see what you can do with it. They got the first Gold Fury. The next one is already up. As we look at the player damage here, you can see hi-rez leads the way. Next up is Cheerio here with Ymir. And, well, when you get the first kill with Ymir in under 2 minutes, it's expected that you can put out this much damage.
Yeah, just the burst from Ymir, the freeze, the ice carpet, and then the basic attack is enough to really hurt somebody and put out a lot of damage. But we've seen a lot of long channeled ice shards come out, which is one of the highest damage dealing abilities in the game. Of course, at max level right now, we're still just barely into it. So Ymir really dishing out a lot of damage in this one.
Yep. And that's going to be a Magi's Blessing already finished here for Maniac, going super utility, making sure he doesn't die anymore. He's died too much for his liking, and, well, that's what he's going to do. Wall comes out, Zero is forced out to the beads, into Wind Gust just to poke him out here, but Cheerio's definitely happy with getting those beads down there. He knows it's beads 3, so it's going to be a 90-second cooldown. You would expect to see Upcoming Stars look to get a kill here on the mid lane.
Beat's super important right there, Scott, because all you need from this team right here is a freeze from Cheerio, an ice carpet basic attack, and a snipe from Frosty, which, if you guys caught the match last week, Frosty understands how to use this Ra ult on point and trusts his teammates. That's all he really needs.
Oh, smart play, throwing out the Desert Fury early to try to prevent it, and he's going to get sucked back in. Defender of the Olympus is there, but this is all about Upcoming Stars. Another beautiful wall. The rotation coming out of Fnatic as well. Searing Pain's going to hit really just Ymir, which is his teammate. Last breath goes down. It's all Captain Twig in the middle. He's waiting for help, and his team can't get there, or else they're going to run into change. Captain Twig is able to pick up the kill. Spirit Ball will hit, but it's not enough as they will be taken out. Colossal Fury's out, and it's defensive as Maniac will retreat to the tier 2, and Upcoming Stars will move to the Gold Fury, looking to take their second one of the game.
Look at the timing of that rotation. As soon as Gold Fury comes up, or relatively near when Gold Fury comes up, Upcoming Stars forces the fight in the left lane. As you said, you mentioned it in the play-by-play, I like the read from hi-rez. There's a Ymir. I'm going to get frozen.
Right.
Let me use the ultimate for the CC immunity, but quick thinking from Upcoming Stars. They don't pull the trigger until after the CC immunity's done. Then you get the pull, you get the freeze, you get the death. So good attempted read from hi-rez, but better hard read from or better reaction to the read from Upcoming Stars.
I've never seen Fnatic not get a single Harpy. When's that? And what do they even do now at this point, Dot?
I mean, right now they just continue to play the game that they're given. They're down 7,000 gold, and they have to realize that, you know, hey, we're number one. There's a reason that we're the number one team in Europe right now, tied with Titan, of course. So they have to go back to the drawing board. They don't have picks that are extravagant outside of Zeros' Isis, so they have to just buckle down and say, look, Twig, do your thing. Finish that Deathbringer. You have rank 1, we need rank 3, and then we'll reassess the situation.
Yeah, it's really about Fnatic getting to 25 minutes at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And not giving up too crazy of a lead. I mean, they're going to have to deal with at least another Gold Fury attempt for sure. And the best case for them is, okay, Gold Fury happens, but no escape comes out. Zeros is going to be here. Beads comes out perfectly and stops that. And, well, Raw did what every good Raw's supposed to do.
Yep.
Rip the ult and expecting that the beads will not come up.
Exactly. So that's what we were warning Zeros about before. Why he used, good thing for him to use those beads earlier on. But looking at the comp, this is not too unexpected for upcoming stars. This is sort of what they want out of an Ares, Ymir jungle, Fenrir. You want to start doing things earlier rather than later. So if upcoming stars can win this before Vamana comes online, they might have a chance.
Well, Fenrir misses his ultimate by just a little bit. Good dodge here coming out of Fnatic. And speaking of Ares, he's got a 3-level advantage on Badja. Wall is going to be just off the mark there as Athena's looking for the taunt. She's got it on Ares. They're trying to hit the follow-up here. Ymir gets a full ultimate off. Not a lot of damage as Sausage is still just going to kind of shepherd them in the back. He jumps back in. Spirit Ball is going to hit, but a perfect beads will stop him from being stunned.
Tower's down. Upcoming stars win. That's all they wanted. They would take a fight if somebody walked into their front yard, but if they can shoot you from afar, that's what they're going to do. And they go ahead and they clean up the entirety of the mid lane. No towers left for Fnatic here in the mid lane as we approach the 19th minute. So upcoming stars looking very strong in this early game. Everything working the way they want it to.
It's really important for them to just keep this gold lead as well. I know it seems like just very basic, but when you look at the comparison in lanes, I mean, Reels is down 1,000 gold, and he gets pulled back in, and then Searing Pain
Twig
just cleans him up, and Twig, down you go, buddy. You're on the sideline for 45 seconds, and they have their eyes on another 1,500 gold here on this tier 2, which is going to be very, very important to get. The jump comes out from Sausage, and they're just trying to delay him, force him out of this one. And that tier 2 is all upcoming stars. I'm shocked, bro. I'll be honest. I'm glad to be wrong, right? But like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, momentum is a very, very real thing, and apparently it's even more real than we thought. Maniac quietly getting a tower over there on the right-hand lane, pushing up all the way to the tier 2. But upcoming stars, as we mentioned, they won last Thursday against Trig in their second game.
Yeah.
They're still riding that. They are looking they look dominant. There is no other word. All the superlatives that we gave Fnatic before this game belong to upcoming stars during this game.
Checking in on the builds here. An Ethereal Staff getting finished up here for Zeros. Can you give me a little bit of insight on this, Dot? I was expecting a Warlock Sash.
I guess he feels like it's a little bit too late to build that Warlock Sash. 100 stacks on that Warlock Sash, don't forget. And the stacks on that item are very, very important. Ethereal Staff is sort of like Warlock Sash Light. If you feel like it's a little bit too late, or you feel like you're not going to be able to get those stacks up in time for it to be relevant, go the Ethereal Staff. It does the same idea, just as I said, Warlock Sash Light.
And then across the way there, X-Frosty keeping the utility build here, throwing out the heals as much as possible. Brutalize will chase down Badja. The stun's good as well. Spirit Ball just off the mark, and Badge is just going to get forced out of hit this one. No escape, sucks him back in. He's still managing to stay alive. Sausage is going to chase him down. Woof Woof able to get the kill as now Vamana is going to be throwing down the hammers. Ooh. And a great job from the Fenrir to dodge that. In comes Cheerio again, trying to get it off, and you can just see how tanky Cheerio is with this lead, and he gets impaled into the wall, and Reels is going to try to burst him down here. Sausage all the way into the backline by himself. They might be able to take him out.
Yeah, that might have been a problem. Sausage getting a little bit too aggressive. Beats are good, so he won't get the control, but he does get the dot. Reels gets credit for the kill. Cheerio cakes out the jungler. Very, very low is hi-rez on the Apollo in the backline. You can see Fnatic wants him, but Qin being very, very pushing forward, and Frosty looking very aggressive as well, so pushing the enemy out of the way.
Reels still throwing down the auto attacks here. In comes the Athena, looking to charge up the taunt here. Badja waiting for it. He's got it down.
Beautiful.
He taunts too, and now Reels will look to get back in, but he's got to be careful. And now the jump's on cooldown, so he'll be able to leap over that wall. And an extended engagement here. Upcoming Stars, we're looking to sweep it out. They also started up the Fire Giant in that time, but Fnatic holds.
Upcoming Stars did a great job of protecting their Hunter. That's exactly, I mean, they played that textbook. Ares peeling by being aggressive, etc. Taking a look at Badger, might have made the wrong choice. He sniffed out the Fire Giant attempt, but he sniffed it just a little too hard.
I think that was a bait. I think it was just a full-blown Fire Giant bait. As now Cheerio will go ahead and clean this up, and they have the numbers here. I mean, the Hand of the Gods 3 is down. They have Athena on the sideline. This is looking very good for Upcoming Stars to get this 22-minute and 15-second Fire Giant here. As Fnatic, the comms go, okay, guys, don't even try to contest it. We can't get it.
Yeah, full fallback from Fnatic. The only one on the team with the Hog 3 is going to be the Athena, who we just saw get completely obliterated. Vamana not quite with that Hog 3 online just yet. Because he suffered so much in lane, he had to devote his gold to not just wards, but items. He finished up that Mystical Mail. The Magi's Blessing came second, and then finally the attack speed boots. Again, another defensive item on this Vamana being built for the fourth item. So almost no time for the Hog 3, and that's going to get Upcoming Stars both Fire Giant and the Gold Fury.
Poor Maniac even had to sell off his tier 1 of Executioner. He was looking to get it going, and he just couldn't even do it. He goes, okay, well, now I'm getting hurt even more by magical damage here. I've been used to dealing with 2 hunters, but okay, whatever. Silver Talisman it is. Super cost-effective, one of the best tier 2 items in the game.
Yeah, just he's going to get a lot of magical protection out of that item. It'll help him against the Cheerio ganks and the Frosty setup, because that's really what's been killing him. It's the Q and the Frosty and the Cheerio that have really made the majority of these slaughters. Sausage, the Fenrir player, has 2 kills to his name and 5 assists, but it's really been the setup from the Ares into the damage from Frosty and stuns from Cheerio that have really wreaked havoc on this enemy Fnatic team.
And plus, these escapes coming out of Fnatic, I mean, Brulaz just chases him down. Sausage is just like latching onto Athena's back as she dashes away, and he's like, oh, by the way, yeah, I'm still destroying you. And he's got a Titan's Bane finish, so shredding through the physical protection that could even come out of Fnatic here with that Titan's Bane already at 23 minutes. I mean, he's 2-1-5, and he's got 12,000 gold in pocket.
Yeah, so the mechanic of that Brutalize will actually follow you through dashes. So that Athena, as you said, is going to be a little bit stuck. Blink in from Q, and he's going to go ahead and grab 1 and strip 2 of their CC immune ults. Badger's going to try an ultimate to get out of there. He won't. Q and gets the kill. The Dog Sausage trying to do what he can in the back line, but a little bit too aggressive. The Mage Zeros gets the kill on that one, and the Phoenix stays defended.
4-on-4 still. Upcoming Stars waiting on another wave of minions to get in here. They have the Fire Giant buff. Captain Twig looking to try to get a pick on someone, but he sees Ares, and he's like, well, I'm not going to win it now. Pillar comes down. Blink comes in from Cheerio. He's going to get knocked up by Clear the Path. So he will sit in the Raw heal, looking for it. Spirit Ball connects as well. Chain's going to be down here on Maniac, and Captain Twig forced all the way out of this one.
You know, we talk a lot about this as we see Upcoming Stars just trying to push down this right Phoenix, but unable to, even with the Fire Giant and even numbers. This is one of the harder things for newer teams, or Upcoming Stars, not a newer team, but they're on the lower end of the SPL spectrum. Closing the game is where we see a lot of these teams struggle. So, you know, it's 25 minutes in. We see a lot of our games end at 29, and they haven't got the Phoenix down, or they did get the Phoenix down at the last minute.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Just eyeing over the lost Phoenix there, Dot.
I mean,
rest in pieces, Mr. Phoenix.
I barely caught it. It did take them a while, though. So Upcoming Stars need to think about how they secured that Phoenix. Good fights. Maybe need to pull the aggression back a little bit out of Sausage so that he doesn't die in the next engagement. And they need to replicate that 1 or 2 more times so that they can close this and earn a victory for themselves. Because the way they've been playing, they sure as hell deserve it.
It's just, how does Fnatic really just deal with Qin at this point? He's 4-0-6. He's getting ready to go into Spear of Magus. He has so much money as a support, I'm not even sure if he knows what to do anymore. Gold is so hard to come by for this role, and to be 4-0-6 and Ares, it's just, he puts out so much magical damage that he's just going to rip through Fnatic if he locks on to anyone.
I'm sorry, I'm stuck here in my own thoughts trying to figure out what is different for this upcoming Stars lineup. They average 25 deaths a game, Scott. They have 6.
Every team has their good matchups here, and well, upcoming Stars look to be playing Fnatic very, very tough. This is their game to lose. Their Fire Giant's gone, but the new one will be coming up in 36 seconds. Everyone out there with a Fnatic shirt is praying to God that, well, Badge is able to slither his way in and steal the Fire Giant, but it's going to be very hard to get through there. He's got Reinforced Greaves and a Sovereignty, and he's forced to go into Talisman, Silver Talisman at that. So he doesn't have a Magi's Blessing, which means he can't stop the CC from happening.
That taunt will be very, very large, though, coming out from the Athena. Being able to get his opponents off of whatever they're looking at and turn around and, well, face her, as the character says in the game. So that's going to be a huge part of these engagements, and Maniac has still not purchased Hog 3, so that will be another part of the algorithm for Fnatic being able to win or not win this game.
Yep. I love the Sprint 3 coming out here. Well, the last time we saw Vamana, we saw the Hasten Fatalis as well as the Shield of Regrowth just so we could get it.
Wow.
And yeah, Fnatic is just going to try to hold one more time at their base. The right side Phoenix is almost 75% regened up, so they have to deal with a couple more waves of fire minions, but upcoming Stars, they're eyeing the middle. And they have a lot of initiation here. I mean, Cheerio can blink in and pop some beads or at least force some ultimates, and then Ares can do the exact same thing. So Fnatic has to be very careful here with what they burn when the first initiation comes out of upcoming Stars.
Yeah, they're going to look for it out of the areas as they have the past couple of engagements, I think, Scott. A lot of them have been made off of the blink or just the raw Ares ultimates.
Apollo just shred through that. The Apollo passive is so good. Just the increased attack speed. Shredding through the Phoenix here as they will now go ahead and push this wave here. They have another one right behind them. Blink in, no escape. It's going to be on 3. Doesn't get anyone. They force out Desert Fury, though. That's a win. Defender of Olympus as well. It is now a 5-on-5 with ultimates down here for the members of Fnatic, as we will wait to watch.
Zero still has his ultimate, which is going to be huge for defending. They can just place it down with all the damage, and that's exactly what they'll do. 2 circles on top of each other. Vamana trying to do what he can, and he does. Captain Twig gets the kill onto the Ymir. hi-rez gets the kill against the enemy hunter. That's good for him. 4 members of upcoming Stars still alive against the 4 of Fnatic.
Captain Twig forced all the way back to the base here. Brutalized on top of Zeros, forcing him out as well. Taunt just off the mark, as Sausage will be able to get out of that one, and they take the middle Phoenix here. Very methodical with this approach here.
And the right one goes down as well, so that's going to be 2 Phoenixes down for Fnatic. Upcoming Stars looking, to say strong would be doing a disservice. They're almost up 20,000 gold. They've got 2 Phoenixes. This team is a completely different team than I've watched in week 1 and 2, and they're still pushing the gas pedal.
Yep, Athena hits the taunt as well, forcing hi-rez to attack her, and Apollo has no problem hitting her. You can see the crits coming out, as now Captain Twig will be here, and it's really going to be Fnatic has to find a way for Captain Twig to latch onto Apollo, hit him with the last breath, and just try to give him 0 to 100. Right? Like
0 to 100 real quick.
Like he needs to do that in this team fight. I just don't know if they can.
Well, I mean, you certainly got one thing right. Captain Twig needs to be able to assassinate someone. He's got the 4 items that are needed. He's got the boots into the Jotuns, into the Deathbringer, into the Titan's Bane. He needs to be able to get this assassination on the line. Smooth moves from Maniac is going to avoid the dog bite, but that will be an ultimate out from Athena.
Yep. Both teams burning at least one ultimate here. Is Frosty. He's creeping on a come up here, as we will see them holding the left Phoenix. Serqet will be on the right side. Same with Reels. He's going to poke him down. He gets chained up, though. That's 2. That's going to be 3. In comes Sausage all by himself. He's got the protections from the Lotus Crown, which will help him out, as well as the heals, and that's what's very strong about this upcoming Stars push.
That's what Sausage has been doing for the majority of this game, and Fnatic has punished him for it, but here's the pull from Qin.
Yep, they got Badger here, and he gets blown up. Right side, Sausage gets low, gets out of there. They have 40 seconds left of this Fire Giant, and it's been very calculated. We get a kill, go back, heal up, let's not throw. Captain Twig looking for an entry point here, and Well, he can't find it. He jumps right in. That's going to be Maniac taken into Colossal Fury. He's stomping down. He's got one. He's looking for a second one. And now he will get forced out of this one as hi-rez will turn around. Pop Sprint 3 now forced all the way out. Turns around, hits a great auto attack as well as Zero's now forced in the Wind Gust, and 453 crits on deck. Cheerio comes in. Desert Fury out as well. Frosty gets himself another kill. As now Upcoming Stars, they have all 3 Phoenixes down, and hi-rez in a lot of trouble. He is able to hit the move somehow. 49 health.
We called him the escape artist, but that is above and beyond. He gets out of there no problem. Look at the Titans' HP, 18%. The right and mid Phoenix have been pouring in the entire time we've watched this fight.
Yep, and 10% and dropping here. Upcoming Stars, they're going to go ahead and defeat Fnatic. The #1 team in EU. They've defeated them in this game #1. Keep in mind, it's a set of 2, but dude, that was Fnatic. Upcoming Stars last split didn't win a game. They saw their first win of an SPL game, period, in history last week. Now they go toe-to-toe with Fnatic.
This is all one big story to me, Scott. They had a roster that, well, they just couldn't do it in split 1. In the spring, they just couldn't do it. They made one roster change. A lot of times you see these teams sort of change everything. They figured out that they liked their team. They just needed a simple change. They made a simple change in the support and the jungle role, and everything sort of has unraveled from there. We saw them face off. They get the 1 win. Maybe that's the only catalyst they needed. They looked.
Maybe
they didn't just steal this win, Scott. They won this with fervor.
Yep, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the first blood here. And one of the stories going into this game, as we called from the desk, was, well, get the Ares moving early. And he gets first blood, and then he was 4-0-6, and then, you know, the game ended, right? It's really how it went, and that was really what Fnatic's weakness was in that game, was you can't let a Ymir get ahead, and you can't let an Ares be even or ahead. It's going to be very, very tough, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at the jungle camps here, and yeah, mid-Harpies, 72%. Now, what's really important about this stat here on mid-Harpies is that the first 3 rotations, Fnatic didn't even touch. They got no early experience. Their mid-Harpy came out of late.
Yeah, that was the 3, 6, 9, and 12 minute spawns that went the way of Upcoming Stars, and those are what I call the most important. That is definitely one of the keys to the game for me personally. Another thing, I was looking at the Ares pulls. I loved the way they positioned them. A lot of times what you'll see is out of Ares, they'll look to just shred beads and Magi's. If I get a pull, that's excellent.
Awesome, yeah.
Instead, what Qin and the team of Upcoming Stars did, they grabbed Badger every time, because as a support, he most of the time, they don't build beads, and he did not have that Magi's online. So they go for Qin, they go for Badger every time, and hope somebody's near it. But if it's not, no big deal. They're going to kill him every time. That's what we saw in one of the final fights. Get the pull on the support, hit the snipe. Badger wasn't there. No taunts, no front line.
Player of the game is going to be Qin here, as he destroyed with his Ares 4-1-8.
Wow.
On top of that, and one of the best parts about this team composition after the game, in hindsight, which is something we definitely should have called, is there's so much potential for Upcoming Stars to take down the beads, which allows someone on their team to excel. Whether it's the Fenrir, whether it's Cheerio on the Ymir, or whether it's just Ares no escapes, when do you beat?
I mean, that's what we saw a lot coming out of Sausage. We mentioned, or I mentioned, that he was being a little aggressive, and he was. But the goal was, what you didn't see was Fenrir, every single time he jumped into that back line, had all the runes up, which guaranteed the stun. And then he used the Brutalize to get out. He didn't use the Brutalize on the person he stunned. He stuns the person, either sets them up for his teammate, or shreds the beads Magi's, and then uses Brutalize to get out of dodge. So we saw a lot of just stop using your CC immunity. Who are you going to pick? Ymir, Fenrir, Ares. You need something for all of our lineup, and we put you in the wrong spot.